Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you to Vidyaniketan Public School's India Insight. It's a quiz that was conceptualized by the founder principal of the school, Mrs. Prema Rajagopal, way back in 2004. It was her vision and foresight that we should have the youth of this nation extremely positive about our own country and knowledgeable as they will prepare themselves to move across the whole world. Today, that vision is so true as youngsters travel all over the world, not just to work, but to study further as well. Here today, moving into this quiz that has been created to celebrate India, we have a young Indian, a passionate one at that, as our host. She is an alumnus of NITK Surathkal, took to quizzing as her career, the only lady across Asia to do it professionally. She was recently acknowledged by the Business Today group as 40 among 40 for the year 2020 for her contributions to education and to the world of content creation. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome your host, Miss Rashmi Furtado.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second semi-final of the India Insight quiz of the junior category. What we have today is the 4 semi-finalists from multiple quizzing rounds that I've had with them. We had over 15,000 children taking part from across 9 countries in the round 1 of this quiz. And from these kids, we had about 500 who qualified to the second round. And from them, the top 32 made it to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals, I must tell you, weren't very easy, but then these 4 kids have made it to the second semi-final. Let me quickly introduce them to you and then move on with our semi-final. Before we move on, let me invite Mr. Vijay Krishna Rajagopal, an erudite leader and the director of the Vidyaniketan Public School, to join us. He has over 15 years of experience as an academic and an educator. He holds a master's degree in education with honours from the University of Western Australia. A very good quizzer himself, he is the world runner-up of the World Teachers Quiz. Mr. Vijay, if you could please join us and share your thoughts.
Dear students, welcome to India Insight online quiz. We are really happy that we are able to host the India Insight quiz online. This quiz was conceptualized in the year 2004 by our founder principal, late Srimati Prema Rajagopal. As a school, we always believed that children need to be instilled with the values and traditions of our great country. And this was the genesis of India Insight. We are really happy to note that many schools from the country are taking part. Also, there are many schools from abroad that are sending their students to participate in this global event. I wish all the students the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay. First up, we have John Joseph from Bhavans Vidya Mandir, Kerala. There he is. Following him, we have Samarth Yadav from Rukmini Devi Public School, Delhi. Up next is Ram Ganesh from Birla Public School, Al Wakra, Qatar. And completing this lineup here today is Rohit from Indian Educational School, Kuwait. These are our semi-finalists. Let me quickly brush through the rules. These semi-finalists are already aware of the rules, but I'll quickly go through them again. We have multiple rounds of quizzing here today. All the questions on the buzzer, plus 50 if you get it right. minus 50 if you get it wrong. This scoring pattern remains the same across all the rounds. There are no changes in the scoring pattern at all. Plus 50 and a minus 50. Only a single attempt per question. You cannot attempt the question twice. Also, once I ask a question, the question will stay alive for about 5 seconds. If no one presses the buzzer, we will move on to the next question, and the previous question would have lapsed. The rest of the buzzer rules the kids are already aware of, so we will quickly get into the semi-final itself, the first round of our semi-final, India at a glance. Here we go. The first round is an oral round. You will have a couple of keywords coming up on your screen, but I would be reading out the entire question for you. So ensure that you listen to me while also paying attention to the keywords that appear on your screen. You're aware of the scoring pattern and rest of the rules, so let's quickly begin this round. Question number 1 of the first round, here we go. Name the Indian freedom fighter who found Marathi newspaper Kesari. Oh, I thought I would get an early buzz for this. No one trying, and the question lapses. The answer I was looking for is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. If you go back even to your books in history in your schools, you will know this. Kesari is mentioned even in your school curriculum. Alright, never mind. We'll move on to the second question. Many more questions coming up. I'm sure you guys will do well. Question number 2, here we go. On behalf of India, who signed the Non-Aligned Movement Treaty in Yugoslavia in 1956? Okay, no one trying again. Oh, alright, moving on. The answer I was looking for was Jawaharlal Nehru. I think the kids are a little scared with getting a minus 50, but at some point you guys have to give it a shot. Moving on, question number 3, here we go. Which war of the 18th century British India began with the Treaty of Surat and ended with the Treaty of Salbai? Oh, no one trying again, time lapsing. The answer I was looking for, the First Anglo-Maratha War. First Anglo-Maratha War is the answer I was looking for. No one going for it, and I think they're too scared of the negatives. Come on guys, you've got to buck up, do better. Question number 4, here we go. Name the national aquatic... There we go. Go ahead, John.
Miss, it's a Gangetic River Dolphin.
Plus
Ganges
50.
River Dolphin.
Plus 50, you're absolutely right. The Ganges River Dolphin or South Asian River Dolphin. It goes by both the names. Plus 50 to you, you're absolutely right. Wonderful. So finally, we have someone starting the quiz. I feel happy with that. But now it's time for us to move into the second round of this quiz. Incredible India. Here we go. So quizzers, in this particular round, I have a couple of visuals for you that will appear on your screen. Along with the visuals, I will have corresponding questions. But it's up to you. If you think you can give me the right answer looking only at the visuals, you can go ahead and take the risk. But I may have extra information that will come in the question. The risk is all yours. Plus 50, minus 50, the scores. Let's begin with Incredible India. Question number 1 on your screen now. Identify the region highlighted in the picture given here on your screen. In the map given in the screen. The region I said. Ram Ganesh, just as I was going to say time is lapsed. Go ahead, Ram Ganesh.
Seven Sisters.
Oh, Minus 50, Ram Ganesh, minus 50 to you. The answer I was looking for is Chota Nagpur Plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is the answer I was looking for. Moving on to question number 2, appearing on the screen now. Identify this traditional form of dance from the state of Rajasthan. John on the buzzer, go ahead.
Miss Goomer.
Ghumar plus 50, absolutely right. Ghumar is the answer I was looking for. And with that, I think John climbs to 100 points. He's doing well for himself, and I think he's being careful of not taking any negatives at this point. Let's see how far it takes him. Moving on, question number 3 of this round. Visual appearing on screen now. Below is the emblem of which Indian state which depicts the mountain peaks with 4 water streams? I said emblem of an Indian state, so name of an Indian state as an answer is what I require. Time lapsing, guys, sorry, the answer I was looking for is Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is the answer I was looking for. It was in the news, I think, as of yesterday. There was a glacier burst that happened there. Anyway, let's move on. The last question of this round. Visual appearing on your screen now. Who led the British East India Company in the Battle of Plassey? Or basically, identify the person on your screen. He's the one who led the British East India Company into the Battle of Plassey. John on the buzzer, go ahead.
Miss Robert Clive.
Plus 50, you're absolutely right. Robert Clive, the answer I was looking for. Let me quickly tell you where our quizzers stand before we move on. As of now, we have John on 150 and Ram Ganesh on a minus 50. But ladies and gentlemen, this is too soon for me to draw any conclusions out of this. We have 3 more rounds of quizzing remaining. So anything can happen at this point in time. It's quite easy for Ram Ganesh to actually negate the minus 50 and move into the positives. So let's see what happens. 3 more rounds remaining here. Remember, only 1 out of the 4 of them will qualify to the world final. Alright, to move on with this quiz and conduct the remaining 3 rounds, may I please request Big Brain to join us back on stage and take this quiz forward. Big Brain, if you could please join us back on stage.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you so much. And really interesting questions, I must say. Let's see how they shape up as we progress into the next couple of rounds. But truly appreciate the way you've been doing this and for these 4 contestants. And well, really interesting also to see students not just from India, but the topic being in India and contestants from the Middle East also, you know, joining in and playing their bit here. But thank you so much, Rashmi. Well, wherever we are, we have a round of applause for young Rashmi, who's been a wonderful host. Thank you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Big Brain.
And from here, ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds of quizzing left with me. And let's see how you're going to play the battle as we move to the next frontier. Like Rashmi said, John Joseph leading on 150 and not going to be difficult for the others to catch up from here. But for the moment, moving on to the next frontier of our game here today, it's called India in a Word. Here it comes. In this round, you're going to get a question with a couple of boxes on your screen. The number of boxes indicate the number of letters in the answer. For example, if your answer was India, you would find 5 boxes on your screen. So that's really the indicator of the number of letters in terms of the number of boxes that you get to see on the screen. The scoring pattern is pretty much the same. You still get a 50 if you get it right, and you get a minus 50 if you get it wrong. Remember, this is the semi-final of India Insight brought to you by the Vidyaniketan Public School. And 1 among the 4 will go into the world final in the junior category. That's the top 4 in the world. That's a huge position to be in. Here's the first one. Hands on the buzzer, on your screen, now. As per the census of India of 2011, this state has the highest birth rate. Who's going to go for it? It's a big state, a big one. Ram Ganesh is giving it a shot. If you can switch on your mic, sit back, Ram Ganesh, sit back. Your mic is off again. Yeah? Go on.
Pradesh.
Again?
Uttar Pradesh.
Is perfectly correct. He'll get himself a 50 to negate that minus that he had taken earlier. As we move to the next one, on your screens now. Where in India is the world's highest cricket ground situated? 5 letters for an answer. Nobody on the buzzer. Ram Ganesh again. Yes, Ram Ganesh.
Delhi.
Is wrong. Well, Delhi is not great in terms of altitude. Minus 50 to you. Chail is the answer that I was looking for. That gives you a minus 50. So he gained the 50 and then lost the 50. But that's the way to play. You got to give it a try. As we go to the next one on your screens now. Shipra, Parvati, Banas, Mej. These are all tributaries of which extremely famous river. In fact, at a point in time, a movie was also created on a bandit who was around a valley near this river. Samarth is giving it a shot. Yes, Samarth.
Narmada River.
The Narmada. Well. That gives him a minus 50. The answer is the Chambal River. That's the answer I was looking for. And a minus 50 to him. It's a tight battle. John Joseph looks good on 150, but the minuses are not going to help these people. As we go to the next one, on screen now. It's a lake that turned pink recently. It is formed in Maharashtra because of the impact of a meteorite collision. How does the world and India know this lake? Simple geography across India, but a fascinating location. A meteorite collision led to the formation of a lake in Maharashtra. 5 seconds of time lapsing, nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds is tight, but that is really how demanding a world quiz like this would be. The answer that I was looking for is the Lonar Lake. And Lonar is what those boxes would have led you to. Well, we've got 2 rounds remaining here. Still in the lead on 150 is John Joseph, as you are witnessing a fairly tense second semi-final at India in sight. As we move to the next frontier, it's time for a few stories from across India. Here it comes. In this round, the scoring pattern pretty much remains the same. You get a 50 and you lose a 50, depending on whether you get it right or wrong. And when that happens, the scoring, of course, gets affected, but the pressure starts to build up accordingly from here, because you've got 2 rounds to go. What I'm going to do in this round is I'm going to show you a set of clues as I narrate a story. So you'll find 2 parts to the story on your screen. You can read it and hit the buzzer, or you can continue listening to me as I narrate the story. The first one is a story of a famous place or a location from India. On your screen, here it comes. The origin of the river Krishna is believed to be from this beautiful place. Situated in the Western Ghats, the place is also extremely famous for its strawberries, known also as a quiet hill station or a hillock. Which beautiful place from the Western Ghats of India are we talking about? Nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds of time, and it's a tight final. Everyone's nervous. Well, strawberries I thought was a very good clue. It is also a season for strawberries right now. But the answer that I was looking for, Mahabaleshwar. So that turns out to be a tough one for these contestants as we're going to go into the next one. And I'm going to narrate the story of a classical dance to you. Here it comes. I am a dance form. Jatiswaram, Shabdam, Varanam, Padam, Tillana, Mangalam, Alarippu are all different forms, and someone's gone for it. It's Rohit who's on the buzzer. Yes, it's Rohit. Yeah, go ahead, Rohit.
Bharatanatyam.
Is absolutely right. Bharatanatyam will give him a 50. And will he get 2 more and claw his way back into the quiz? He's got a 50 and he was quick. He did not even want me to narrate the entire story. As we go to the next one, it's a person about whom I'm going to narrate this story. The third one in this round on your screens now. I am a famous gentleman, extremely famous of late for designing the world's tallest statue that today you will find in the state of Gujarat. I was invited by the government to create the Statue of Unity, a statue that has made me popular as much as the statue has become extremely popular in India. Who am I? Nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds of time ticking. The answer is the great designer Ram Sutar, the man behind the Statue of Unity in India. Well, the quiz is getting a little nervous. John's playing carefully. He's on 150. He knows he's in the lead. He does not want a minus 50, so he's not taking his chances. But then, 2 good hits and, well, Rohit can close in on that. In fact, what Rohit should tell himself is, I need 1 more answer. And then I'm right there. You know, it's like you need a 4 and 1 over left and you can always get that. Here's the last one in this round on your screens. It's about a person again. Now, I am an extremely important personality in Indian history. A major. I turned out to be the first ever recipient of a Paramavir Chakra, India's highest military decoration. I am extremely popular for my valor, my courage, and a stamp has been issued in my honor. Turns out to be a tentative, tough final here today. Well, and oh, someone's gone for it. John is taking a shot. Let's.
Sir, is it Vikram Batra?
Oh, Major Vikram Baka. He's taken a risk, and on a 150, it's what he does not want. It's a minus 50. Oh, he's invited a little bit of trouble for himself. 1 round to go in this semi-final here today at India Insight. Where do we have our contestant standing? Well, it's a really close final according to me. Samarth is on minus 50, Ram Ganesh on minus 50, but that can change very quickly. Rohit is on 50, he's in striking distance. He's not going to complain about the minus 50 that John took, because John now on 100 is just 50 ahead of Rohit, and anything can happen from here. In fact, if Samarth or Ram Ganesh get 4 on 4 in the final round, they can still win the quiz. So that's how beautifully placed this semi-final is. Remember, one among these will make it to the world final to join the young girl from Chennai who made it from the first semi-final. The final frontier, India inspired. Here it comes. All you got to do on the first one is to give me an overall answer. No more for me to mention. It's a person on your screens. Here are the clues. 4 clues, 1 person will emerge as an answer. John Joseph is risking
Mahatma
it.
Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, he created all these newspapers, Young India, Harijan, and India Opinion. The last one, I don't know. But it's
All of
Mahatma
these
Gandhi.
are newspapers created by Mahatma Gandhi. Well, Mahatma Gandhi will give him a 50 and take him back to 150 as we go to the next one on your screens. Now, one extremely important position in India connects these people? These are Harivansh Narayan Singh, P.J. Kurian, and Rahman Khan. All of them have held one important position in India. 5 seconds of time ticking away. All right, time lapsing on that question. The answer that I was looking for is the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. It's a very, very important position in India, and all of these people would connect you to that position. 2 questions to go, so Rohit will have to play his game from here. He's got to get both right to challenge John Joseph. John Joseph's going to be careful with his strategy. Penultimate question on your screen now. Both these people have held the same position. One as the last Britisher, the other as the first Indian. What position in India? Position of great respect, great importance. Rohit is giving it that shot. He's not going down easily. Yes, Rohit?
Attorney General.
Oh, that's a minus 50. He took a risk on that and he got a negative. The answer is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of India. That is the great Cariappa. And the other, of course, is the image of General Roy Butcher. And General Roy Butcher happened to be the last of the British to hold the position of the Commander-in-Chief before India had its own to command our armed forces. One final question, as John Joseph will now say, I'm safely into the world final, as he's got a healthy lead now of 150 in comparison to Rohit, who gave it a fight. But the final question on your screen now. It's a very important commission that has been in the news, especially in 2020. All you got to tell me is, what are we talking about? Something regulatory, 5 seconds lapsing. Well, the contestants are playing very safe. Especially when you're trailing, I would believe you got to hit the buzzers, but then they choose to play it carefully, which is perfectly all right. And the answer, of course, is the National Medical Commission of India. And it doesn't really matter, as it doesn't affect the outcome of our quiz here today. But I tell you what, with a 150, John Joseph has played this game remarkably well. And he's played it with a lot of maturity. When he knew he had the scores in place, he knew he need not really take the extra risks. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with a 150, John Joseph looking safe here and playing it safe as well as he emerges the champion from the second semi-final. It'll take him into the world final of this quiz, the top 4 of the world. And now he finally smiles. Well, all of you should smile. You are in the top 16 of the world. We've had contestants from Japan, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait. Well, you name the country. 8 of them actually took part from across the world. 8 or 9, I might be wrong on that. But many countries apart from India all quizzing about India. But ladies and gentlemen, we've identified our second world finalist in John Joseph, who qualifies and makes it to that big top 4. You're going to be watching this as we're going to track down our third world finalist. But all of that in the next episode. Till then, from me, from my young colleague Rashmi, and from all of us here on behalf of the Vidyaniketan Public School, you were watching the second semi-final of India Insight. Till we come back to you, do take care. Goodbye. Thank you for tuning in.